Hello, everybody. It's Sunday. Short 6-minute teaching here, there. Got the sacred name of God on my hat, but it may show up backwards in my camera. So, Hebrew is read from right to left. English is read from left to right. But the camera flips it around. So you got a yod, hey, vav, hey. You've got two fives, you've got two hays that look identical. This is a King James Bible, New Testament and Psalms. This old maroon 1952 Revised Standard is more accurate than this King James 1611. More accurately translated from Hebrew and Greek. You can find one of these, the pages will be yellow because it's an old 1952 or older edition. Now, there's one that's rare. 1922 James Moffatt. 1922 James Moffatt is more accurate than the 1980 or 1880 to 1952 to 57. 1972, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I have dyslexia, I turn numbers around. So, this James Moffatt, 1922, is more accurate than this Revised Standard, 1952. This one reveals likeness before image and spirit before word. Now, without reading in these Bibles, I have gone to my Young's Concordance, which is easier to use than a Strong's, teaching you spiritual study principles. And I looked up inheritance, error. You're an heir to an inheritance, okay? Looked up those two words in the Young's Concordance. Inheritance in the New Testament is found the most in the letter to the Ephesians, which has two names. Ephesians, Laodicea, actually has many names. All 7 churches in Asia Minor on the trade route to Troas received a copy of the headquarters Ephesian letter. So Ephesus headquarters by 52 AD of the new sect called the Way of the Nazarene. And you find inheritance. Are you ready to write? Write fast. Ephesians, EPH 1:14. Chapter 1, verse 14. Chapter 1, verse 18. Chapter 1, verse 18. Chapter 5, verse 5. 3 times, major doctrine, in the letter to the Ephesians, Laodiceans. Colossae, which you study together with Ephesians, Laodicea, 3:24. That makes inheritance locked in, major doctrine, 4 times. All right? Then, and in Hebrews 9:15, the word inheritance. Read it in text before and after. 9:15, Hebrews. Heirs, Heirs. Titus 3:7, heirs. Hebrews 1, verse 2, 6, verse 17, 11, verse 7, and 11, verse 9. Together, fellow, joint heirs, one time, but joint is together, fellow. Joint heirs, Romans 8:17. Heirs with Christ, Ephesians. What is that one? I didn't write it down, it's blank. But in Ephesians, you can find heirs with Christ of an inheritance. This inheritance is spiritual eternal, in heavenly places, a heavenly New Jerusalem, a placement for every spirit soul in its new glorious body, ascended and seated, immortality, dwelling in the light, forever and ever infinity. This Bible study was on the word inheritance. If you know how to study the word inheritance, and heirs. Heirs. We are joint heirs, fellow heirs with Christ. There is a above the line, high spiritual teaching from Bernard Eugene Behringer Jr. Love you. In the Lord Jesus Christ. The Lord Jesus, raised from the dead. The great high priest forever and ever. Love you. Bye.